Origin and insertion. The origin is the bone that does not move with a given muscle contraction. It's the bone that doesn't move. The insertion is the bone that does move. So origins and insertions are bones or bone markings. And origin is the bone that doesn't move, insertion is the bone that does move. The prime mover is the main muscle for that movement. It's also called the agonist. Now there's typically a lot of smaller muscles helping that movement, and they're called synergists. Now there's also muscles that resist that movement. Or another way of looking at it, they do the opposite movement. So if you're talking about a flexor, they do the extensor. And that's called an antagonist. And then the last word you need to know is aponeuroses. We're going to name one today. And aponeuroses is a broad band of connective tissue attached to some muscles. There's one aponeuroses we're going to name today. All right, so let's get started. The frontalis and the epicranial aponeuroses. The frontalis muscle is right here. By the way, this skull is cracked. Wow, this must have fell and cracked. Careful of these guys. This is the frontalis muscle. It is number 1. And if I pull the head off, you can see, and I'm just pointing it towards Kendall, you can see that there's this white band right here hooked to the frontalis muscle. This is the epicranial aponeuroses. The epicranial aponeuroses does not have a number. So the frontalis is number 1 and the epicranial aponeuroses is right here. This frontalis muscle hooks to the back to the occipitalis muscle. So in other words, the occipitalis muscle is number 25, and I'll come over to you guys in a second. This is all one sheet. Matter of fact, some people call this the epicranial muscle with the frontal belly and the occipital belly. They don't even call it two different muscles. They'll say epicranial muscle, occipital belly and frontal belly. Or some people say frontalis, epicranial aponeuroses, occipitalis. You guys have the numbers.
You're 25.
Okay, I'm 1 in 25. You guys are?
We're 1 in 25.
You're 1 in 25 as well. Good. They're not always going to match. I promise you. All right, so we did. Say again?
What's this one?
I don't know.
Oh, make sure.
Okay, the next muscle is the orbicularis oculi. Whoops, I need my skull back. The orbicularis oculi surrounds the eye. It's this circular muscle around the eye. It's number 2 on this model. It's number 3 on Fred. Orbicularis oculi. Circular muscle around the eye. Next muscle is the orbicularis oris. You can see half of it. It's the circular muscle around the mouth. And I can see half of it because half of the head is missing. It's number 9 on the regular models. 14 on Fred. Okay, the next muscle. Turn the head to the side right here. The next muscle is the buccinator. And be careful here. That's number 14 on this model. 13 is the risorius. So this is deeper. This is deep to the risorius. The buccinator is 14 on this model. Let me tell you what it is on this model. On this model, on Fred, the buccinator or buccinator is 18. The risorius is 13. So on this one, 13 is the risorius, just like yours. But the buccinator or buccinator, some people call it, on the regular model, it's right deep to the risorius. It's number 14 on the regular model, and 18 on yours, correct? 18 on Fred. All right. Okay, next is we did risorius, but the masseter. This masseter muscle is number 15 right here. It's the big chewing muscle. A lot of the masseter muscle is being occluded by the parotid gland. So it's actually a big muscle, but this salivary gland is occluding some of it. So this is the masseter right here.
It was 15 on yours?
15 on the regular model and 19 on Fred. And Fred has his salivary gland peeled back. So Fred's a good one to look at for the masseter because the parotid's been peeled back. You can see more of the masseter. All right, Rhizoris we did. The zygomaticus major and minor are these two muscles right here. Now we wrote inferior and superior next to them because for some reason people think that the zygomaticus major should be superior. It's not, it's just a bigger muscle. So number 6 is the zygomaticus major. I'm sorry, number 6 is the zygomaticus minor. You get that, correct that. 6 is the zygomaticus minor. It is the superior muscle. And number 8 is the zygomaticus major, and it's the inferior muscle between these two. Zygomaticus minor, zygomaticus major. Minor is 6, major is 8.
You didn't go over temporalis.
I skipped it? Okay, I'll go back to it. You guys get the zygomaticus?
Yeah, we have minors, 10, majors, 11.
I'm Fred. Say it again.
Major 11, minor 10.
Major 11 and minor 10 on Fred. I want to just make sure I agree with you. Minor, did you say minor 10? Minor 10, major 11, correct. All right, I'll go back to temporalis, I'm sorry. Levator labii superioris. It does what it sounds like. It elevates the lips. It's right here. It's number 5. Levator labii superioris. It elevates the lips. Labia means lips. I'll come over to Fred and look. It's number 5 on the regular model. Guess what? Fred doesn't have it. You don't have to worry about levator labii and Fred. But it's number 5, it looks like. Yep, 5 on this guy. All right. The nasalis muscle is right here on the nose. Wow. 3 or 4? It's 4. It's got to be 4. The nasalis is 4 right there. I was arguing with myself about 3 and 4, but I tell you this, the nasalis muscle flares your nostrils, so it has to be this muscle here. That's the nasalis. Okay, I'll come look. You guys don't have it. That's a blood vessel. And 2 is our. That's not it. Your cheat sheet says what?
It says 7 is the. And 4 is the levator labii.
Oh. No, 4 is not the levator labii superioris. It's not. It's on the nose.
I'm just showing you. This is the cheat sheet you
Okay.
gave us.
Well, this could be wrong. Oh, it's the levator labii superioris nasi muscle.
Okay.
Not, okay.
You see 7.
Take that back. 4 is the nasi muscle, the levator labii nasi muscle, but that's not on your list. So 7 is the nasalis, and that flares your nostril. I agree with that. All right, I missed a muscle, Mike told me. It's the temporalis. It's this big muscle right here on the side of the head. And on the side of the head, it's on the regular torso, it's 22. And on Fred, it's not depicted well. This is it, by the way. But it's not depicted well. There's no number either. So Fred doesn't have a temporalis. So this is the temporalis muscle right here. Makes sense, the temporal bones right underneath it, right? All right, that's it for the head. Any questions about the head? Okay, let's do the neck. Be careful on this. This is a little tricky in here. Not too bad, but be a little careful. The digastric muscle has 2 bellies. And think about it, di means 2 and gastric means belly. The digastric muscle has two bellies, and I can see both bellies. One underneath the chin, I can see the belly, and then it runs through a little loop, and then I can see the other belly right here. And let's hope both bellies have the same number. They do. No, they do not. Wow, they do not have the same number. One is called 17 and one is called 19. And it's right here. Right here and right here. That's the digastric muscle. Two bellies. Now, why is 17 and 19 different on your key back there? Why do they have two different numbers? They call it the anterior belly and the posterior belly?
Yep.
Okay, so the reason why, if you look at your key, why there's two numbers for the digastric muscle is because the key is going to say 17 is the anterior belly of the digastric muscle, and 19 right here is the posterior belly of the digastric muscle. That's why it has two different numbers if you look at the key. So there's that. Next one is the mylohyoid. Now this goes to the hyoid bone. The hyoid bone is right here. This is, like, you can't really see it. You remember the hyoid bone floats up in here? It's right here. We have sternohyoid, goes from the sternum to the hyoid. Geniohyoid, goes from the tongue to the hyoid. Mylohyoid. Thyrohyoid, goes from the thyroid cartilage to the hyoid. So the mylohyoid. I'm going to say the mylohyoid, and I'm going to check with the key, is 20. And that could be the stylo. No, that's the stylohyoid. That's the stylohyoid. I actually don't see the mylohyoid on here. 20 is the stylo.
It says 16.
Yeah, good. I don't see a 16 on here.
Right here.
Oh, I see it. I got it. I got it. So let me show you something here. Is stylohyoid on our list? Yes, it is. Yeah. I'm going to show you stylohyoid first and then the mylohyoid. Remember the styloid process up in the skull? That's right here. This muscle right here, going from the styloid process to the hyoid bone, is the stylohyoid muscle. By the way, I want you to see something. The digastric runs through it. Look at right there. The digastric splits that muscle and runs through it. And you're going to say, how do I know that? There's the digastric. There's the digastric. Here's the stylohyoid. Now the stylohyoid runs from the styloid process down to the hyoid bone. And then if you check underneath this, over here, here's the stylohyoid. This muscle right here is the mylohyoid. It goes from the hyoid muscle, the hyoid bone, to the mandible. That's the mylohyoid. Questions about that? Oh, stylohyoid is 20. Mylohyoid is 16.